Lady Liberty for inspiration. Hi, I'm Frankie.
Hello,
Frankie. I'm a New Yorker. I don't need a mic. This is a reading for Sal that I just realized might get cut. It was a few days after 9/11. I was still numb from the whole catastrophe. New York was my beloved city, and it was badly wounded. The Twin Towers, as we fondly called them, terrorists destroyed them. I worked with IBM serving customers there for close to 5 years. The World Trade Center collapsing before my own eyes is a burned image etched in my brain and my soul. It was surreal. I will never forget it. With my 9-month-old in my arms, I sighed and said, "This can't be happening. It's an awful nightmare." A fellow IBMer called me with more unexpected news later that week. 9/11 took my friend Sal Pepe's life. Hearing this surfaced a pain so unbearable, my heart was stabbed. I cried a gut-wrenching cry for days. It wouldn't stop. I tried to calm down. More surfaced from deep inside of me. When I watched the news, it made me feel worse. TV kept repeating the footage over and over again, analyzing it, picking it apart. Each time I witnessed the towers being destroyed, it was more painful than seeing the actual event in real time. I desperately tried to find a picture of Sal. Why can't I find one? I spent so much time with him. Don't worry, one will turn up, my girlfriend told me. And sure enough, no sooner did she say that, like somebody watching over me, I found a picture tucked away in one of my movie boxes. Sal Pepe was a handsome kind of guy in a geeky kind of way. I think I always had a crush on him. Sal was working on the 89th floor of the South Tower 208 World Trade Center when the first plane hit. I was told he did not survive the impact. Sal's kind soul was taken away that moment. If I know Sal, he was probably saving others around him. He always put himself before others. He was a sweet, soft-spoken man. He always gave of himself unconditionally. I miss Sal very much, and I wish we could share our laughter together. I remember the day we met at IBM Brooklyn in 1987. After 3 years of working full-time and attending weekend college, I finally graduated Brooklyn College. My dad, Vincent, died in 1984 from a bad heart while I was going to college, and my last promise to Vinny was to finish. And I did. During a "what do I want to do after I graduate" meeting with my counselor, I have a paid internship at Bedford-Stuyvesant in Brooklyn. It's a manufacturing plant. How does that sound to you? And I said, "What are you, nuts? That's a scary neighborhood, even for an Italian girl from Queens." Bedford-Stuyvesant was a moderate to lower income African-American Brooklyn neighborhood where beautiful brownstones lined the streets. Some of them, you would turn a corner and burned out buildings of the ghetto reminded that anyone's luck can turn on a dime. After that initial distress of that conversation, something told me it was an opportunity maybe I shouldn't pass up. And besides, I needed a job. I was completely on my own. So here I am, driving in my Ford Red Escort, driving to the plant on DeKalb Avenue. I felt virtuous about my decision to enter the forbidden neighborhood. After all, I'm from Queens. After a security check at the gate, I walked into a brick building and sat patiently waiting. I started looking at the pictures of the history in the lobby, thinking, what did I get myself into? "Welcome to IBM Brooklyn," he said with a smile. As I walked into Sal's office. Sal was tall but slight. He had a big, bushy, dark beard. He wore preppy glasses, dreamy brown eyes glancing. He had a plastic pen holder clipped on his white shirt and a tie. I said, typical corporate IBM nerd. I handed him my resume, and I filled in the application, handwritten in pen. He looked it over with a stern eye. On the application, back up. Young lady, you better take a closer look at this application, he said with a smirk, pointing to the box that said college major. I looked puzzled. On the application, I accidentally wrote pubic communication. I was so embarrassed, and I apologized immediately. Don't worry, we'll fix it. I just don't want people to get the wrong impression about your major. Then we both laughed. At that moment, I knew we would be friends. Sal then explained, we'll get back to you in a week with our decision.